The purpose of this presentation is just to show the power of the algorithm. Just wanted to make a statement that indicate that our algorithm are very similar to the Wall Street algorithm. And by the profit that algorithm generate in our platform, you will be absolutely amazed. Here, this is the arrow that I indicate the trends that you will have ability to see, understand, and interpret it correctly, how much money it could be produced through the algorithm. Divergence, light blue line, show up in very specific time prior to this candle, and the market goes up. I indicate the arrows, the trend, how algorithm perfectly identified smaller trend, large trend, mini trends using variety of the different charts. We don't trade minutes, we trade only ticks. It takes 400 contract to fill up one candle on a 400 ticks chart, 800 contract, and we can display variety of the different charts, different time frames. You take advantages of all movements of the market. This is trend down, this is the trend up. Gold star, red star line up, it's 100% trade. And if you can see, if you block it and put a dark piece of paper and that you don't know exactly what will happen, this is how we train you. Two stars line up, 100% trade, you take a trade and the market goes down. The market reaching the bottom, this is OBOS, overbought, oversold. This is the range where is Wall Street is trading. We know exactly every move that the Wall Street is making. You see this triangle? Put the cursor and look down the time frame. It's 10:51:05. 10:51:05. Just remember this time. 10:51:05. Put on 800 chart the same triangle, green triangle, 10:47:51. If you notice 51:05, put the cursor here. 51:05. In identical time, by the second, this triangle will show up on a both chart. They are not connected. All algorithm absolutely independent from one chart to another chart. You don't need to think, only you need to do what? Only to click the button and take the trade. Because the trading is mechanical and subconscious. We call this Holy Grail algorithm. There is another Holy Grail algorithm encapsulate the first Holy Grail. Do you see the stars line up with this triangle? What it tells you, this is another Holy Grail. In other words, in one single market movement, you have two Holy Grails, and the market continue to go up. Perfectly momentum line cross the dark blue, light blue cross the red, point of no return. The market goes to its range. It's identified the range. How do you identify the range? Do you see the flat OBOS? It's a very special mathematical equation on an 800 chart. As soon as the market creates certain conditions, this is flat. This is where you exit the trade, and you can initiate another trade. There are other interesting conditions on a histogram. This is red, the buyers and sellers. This is only buyers in the green. This is sellers join. And when you have a condition like this, if you notice, this is U-curve, a regular U-curve on a histogram. In this condition, histogram become very predictive algorithm, provided predictive algorithm. And when you have a U-curve, you know very well that the market will go up. Why? Because what you saw before, it was only a dip. And then the market reverses, confirmed by another divergence, and the market goes up. Reaching certain level, you can identify the level precisely with this, what we teach, and the market reverses. Now, another Holy Grail. Put the cursor here, you see the arrows, yellow arrow, put on a red triangle and look the time. The time on the bottom, 11:22:42. 11:22:42. Put the cursor on another chart, on a 400, put the cursor in what you see, time on the bottom, 11:22:42. By the second, all you need to push the button, plus you have a star. Therefore you have not only Holy Grail, because you have a two red triangles on both charts, you have a star. Therefore, by single definition, when you have a triangle, you have a gold star or the red star, the market always will follow its column. Now, let's go to look what else. Divergence. Do you see divergence? Divergence mathematical equation. Put the cursor. 11:12. Study to calculate mathematical equation. Only at 12:16, 1 hour and 4 minutes later, this line will show up. And what do you think it happened? It's a law of the land, and the market will always reverse. This is how intelligence algorithms are. They identified even before momentum line reverses, and the market continued to go down, and nobody can stop the market. And then, of course, you have a more support for algorithm. Do you see triangle with a gold star? And the market reverses because it's a Holy Grail by definition. Supported by normal algorithm, red star, 95% probability. With a gold star follow, it's 100% probability. It's probability built within probability that give you very precise definition. And look how much market goes down. It's like a freight train. Do you see a beautiful separations like a railroad? Train left New York, going to Miami, delivered containers, and this is what markets are. Bounce a little bit, but nobody can change the direction of this trend. Look at this. You have gold star line up with the red star, and what do you think it happened? A major move downtrend. Move a little bit further, and you see market are completely oversold. Definition is numerical value. It's very high. Levitation zone, -86. Market reverses, and you have another beautiful trade confirmed by the triangle, green star, and the market moves up. Let's move quickly to the 800 chart, confirm what happened on an 800 chart, and you have triangle here, and you have divergence right here. You know what divergence does? Divergence is reverses trend, and then what you see what you have on a histogram, you have inverse U curve. Inverse U curve that tells you what you had here was only a bounce, and the market will always follow its trend, and the market will go down. And then, of course, another Holy Grail, put the cursor on the red triangle, and you have 1548.09. Put the cursor here, 1548.09. By the second, with a blink of the eye, two triangles will show up simultaneously on both charts. And this is what defined a Holy Grail. And what do you think it happened? This is how smart intelligence algorithms are, and the market continue to go down. Therefore, there is no thinking. Trading, it's mechanical, pushing the button, subconscious. All you need to have a discipline, follow the algorithm. It's all it is. We just check. I put yellow arrows to identify a beautiful, very good trends. I calculated all of them, generated 3 points, 7 point, 10, 20 points, 24 points, 29, let's say 30 points. They generated 30 points. This so beautifully identified trade by the algorithm. 30 points multiplied by $50, $1,500. $1,500 multiplied by 10 contracts. 10 contracts. It's a $2,500 investment. On a $2,500 investment, you just make $15,000 plus. And if you add directly calculate precisely points, it comes to $18,000 between 10 o'clock and somewhere closing time, let's say 4 o'clock, between 10 and 4 o'clock. If you sit all this time in front of the computer, you will generate $18,000. But if you have only sit in front of the computer only half of this time, it's still nice $8, $9, $10,000 for half of the time being on a market. And this is what the power of our algorithm.